him back, so he was very good. He's just expensive. Oh, there's
Right.
your watch. Okay.
Do you want the
See if it fits in. It should. I'm sure that's the case for it.
do you want the handkerchief back?
No, I don't want the handkerchief back.
You can, well, now that we have the place.
There it is. Yes, it's a beautiful watch, isn't
I
it?
love it.
And you wear it on a chain around your neck. I think that's what they used to do.
Amazing.
That was Edwardian. 1904. That's perfect Edwardian age.
Was it
The
04? I
women
thought it
wore
was
sort of
08.
neckties. You remember that high neck blouses with neckties?
Open up
and their
inside?
hair up on top of their head.
No, the
Yeah.
pop the back.
The back says from my brothers, Christmas
What is it?
1904.
I thought it was 08.
Oh, it might be 1908. Still Edwardian.
Even.
No, the other side. That's the clock face. But
You
the other
think it
side
just-
does open. I'm not sure how. There's a little
You pull it.
hook. There's a little hook you have to.
Oh, I pull it.
No, you don't. No, there's
you
a
just
little
pop
hook
it.
with your fingernail.
You're like,
There's a little thing
Oh,
with your
right,
fingernail.
right,
yeah.
right. Oh, I see it right here. I believe. Yeah. And it's 1902.
1902. Okay. Well, that's how. See how beautiful the gold is. What a marvelous metal. It stays perfect, doesn't it?
I just think it's.
Which is
it's
why
am-
everybody loves gold, I guess.
Well,
So-
I just think it's so amazing because of its pattern.
Yes, it is. It's a very beautiful
That's-
watch.
I mean, just it's so intricate, but it's not gaudy. And
No.
That's why I think it's amazing. Because I
Wow.
really like.
we knew what you'd said that Anne had said she wanted to, but thank you. That's so awesome.
Yes.
Oh, I'm
You get the
delighted.
coolest stuff.
I have to
See,
get.
you get the coolest stuff in the end.
I have to. Get,
I get TVs and you end up with gold watches.
I have to get rid of things that I have that I don't want thrown away.
Or thrown away, or just they would just become part of the.
Oh, listen, because we legally don't own anything. So when brothers die, somebody else goes through all the things and throws it away, and that's what would happen.
Or give it away.
Well,
right?
very rarely they mostly
Or they
throw it.
or they give it to their or they send it off to their nephew to pawn.
He could, yes. Because I remember when Brother Jude died, who was my Greek teacher, I said to Christopher, what's his name, he was throwing everything. I said, don't do it. I went over here, salvaged most of the files, thank God, in which he had translations of the choral odes from the tragedies, because they're impossible to translate. So he had those, and, they're
They
impossible.
never published them? The
No,
ones that
he
translated?
did them for his doctorate degree. He was working, he got his doctorate in Greek, and so he was able to do that. I can read the plays. The dialogue of the play is not bad. And it's an iambic hexameter. It's almost like reading Shakespeare, da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. But I can't, the choruses are just, they're impossible. The meter is impossible. The translation is impossible. I don't know how people ever translate them. But the most famous Greek scholar in the United States back in the 19th century taught at Bryn Mawr School.
Oh, really?
Where you went, yes. His name was Gillespie. No, I take it back. Gildersleeve.
Okay.
Dr. Gildersleeve. You can ask them about it next time you're there.
Wow.
But he was very famous. He was world famous. And but he never got a doctorate. He was MA or something, but from England. But he was excellent. So he did a lot of these translations. But Jude did his own. I don't know how he ever did it, because I can't do it. It's just far, far, far too difficult for me. The dialogue, and even then the dialogue is it's not, it's classical Greek. I was dealing with Koine, which is Alexander the Great, which is like English. I mean, it's so simple, It's like speaking slang rather than speaking artistic language, because the ancient Greek is so artistic. When I took Greek in Loyola College, the first ever took it, the first thing he taught us the grammar, for which, by the way, he never used a book or a note.
Wow.
Because Dr. Walsh was an amazing man. He taught us the whole grammar. And then the first thing to read he gave us was Plato's Apology. He learned his mistake in a few weeks. We never got through the first paragraph.
Oh.
So he learned his mistake. But it was classical Greek, so he couldn't give us the Bible, so he gave us Xenophon, which is what they usually do. Boring book. Did you ever study Latin? They give you Caesar's Gallic Wars. It's so boring, but it's so childishly simple. Xenophon's the same thing. Darius and Parisitus had 2 children. The older was named Cyrus, and it's just awful. It's awful.
What would that be in Greek then?
Yeah. Dariu kai parisatidas gignatai paides duo. Derotara, was it Presbyterian, the elder. Presbyteros, some men, Artaxerxes, Neoteros, the hero. See, I still remember it in Greek. I remember the beginning of Plato's Apology. Hatimen hume so andras athanaio papothata himon tonemon katigaron ukoida. That's Socrates. What do you think about my condemnation, people of Athens? I have no idea, but I think it's a pile of crap. That's what he's saying. It's a wonderful book. In English, it's great, but we couldn't read it. Oh, it was it's very difficult language. So, and I had a student who actually went into third year Greek, and of course we had to do it. You know, if he's in third year, I did the play, I did Oedipus. It was as difficult for me as it was for him, I can assure you. It was really hard. I was much happier when they stuck with the New Testament. I read off the page. And when they stuck with that, I was fine. Now, I taught a brother just the last year or so, you know, for 2 years I taught him Greek. Started with the...
Wasn't he Asian or something like that?
Yeah, he was Thai.
Oh, you told us about him before.
And we were halfway through St. John's Gospel, and he went to a mental hospital. So you see what I did to him? And he never recovered. He's down in Amadale now. He was head of the English as a foreign language program in Philadelphia in the Catholic schools. It was a good job and all that, you know, but that's the end of him, I'm afraid. And his mother and sister live in Miami, so he used to go down for Christmas, you know, but he was, oh dear.
So the moral of the story is don't learn Greek.
Don't learn Greek, because I don't know what was the matter.
It'll get you committed.
He was probably terribly upset by the woman caught in adultery. But anyhow, which is in John, you know. But John's very easy to read, very easy, which is why I picked that. There's no problem at all, you know. Well, you don't pick St. Paul, because St. Paul is extremely difficult.
I didn't even know.
There's a big difference between the two of them. Well, the Gospels are very easy. Especially Mark is easy, John is easy. But Luke is not, because Luke was a Gentile and wrote with... The first sentence in Luke is classical Greek. It lasts about that long, you know, all one sentence. And it's really beautifully done. You can read it and see it in English, you can see that. You can see how complex it is. But once he gets into the infancy, of course, it's all Dick and Jane. Nothing to it. And 1 John, you can read off the page with only a few weeks of learning Greek. It's that simple, because it repeats and repeats and repeats and repeats, you know. You've read 1 John.
It's
I'm
like
sure
this
in
begat the that, and the that begat the other.
No, that's Genesis.
I
Well,
was
then
gonna say,
Matthew.
that's an Old Testament.
Yeah, all the Old, but also Matthew chapter 1.
That's true. That's
You know,
true.
Abraham was the father of Isaac, and Isaac was the father of Jacob, Jacob was the father of Joseph and his brothers. But that's again a sin, gave birth to, you know, sired. Abraham again ascend, Isaac again ascend, Jacob again ascend, and it's awful, monotonous. Do you know that's a gospel used actually in one of the days of the year? I forget which day it's used for, but it's so boring. I can't believe they use it.
Like
They should
Mother's Day?
substitute it. It should be. They substitute another one, and
Not because they're boring, because they're begatten.
they're begotten. Yeah, they're all begat. Well, it's weird. But genealogies were extremely
It's
important
not
in the ancient
mean.
world because that guaranteed your land rights. You know, I got this land from Dad, who got it from Dad, who got it from Dad, who got it from. That's what it was for. It was to, you know, I own this land and you can't have it.
So it
That's
should
mainly what it
should be
was
on tax day then.
for. Tax. Yeah. Oh,
Better
We're-
than Mother's Day.
we're trying to get out of taxes, but I don't think we will. A nice lady named Geneva Church came and asked us all kind of questions for the tax bureau, and all, you know, is there, because schools, for example, schools are tax exempt and churches are tax exempt, of course, but not residences. And I knew that wasn't true, but the provincial told us to do it, so we did it. And she said, well, if you don't teach classes here, you know, you don't conduct a church, she said, I don't think you're going to get rid of the taxes. And I'm sure she's right. Because like rectories, Catholic churches are taxed, as they are in every, you know, the rectory is always taxed. It's the church that isn't.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So
I didn't
where
think
you
about
live
that.
is subject to taxes. And our taxes have gone up a lot, but then everybody's have, haven't they? I'm sure they're very high in Baltimore.
Not in the county.
Not in
The city. Actually, our assessment went down this year.
And the
You,
city
you know,
assessments
Jim
went
Cruz
down.
said that. The assessment went down. I was so surprised at that.
Assessment went down from like 280 to like 260.
The mayor of Philadelphia promised never to raise real estate taxes. He didn't. He just raises the assessment every year. So, of course, the taxes go up automatically. So we paid, the first year we moved in, which admittedly was 40 years ago, the taxes were $1,100.
40 years ago.
40 years. 40
Like
years, July
1970?
1st, 1970, July 1st. So it was $1,100. Now they're $4,000.
Well, that's not very
bad
much.
at all.
No, but he never raised them. He never raised them. Just kept raising the assessment, raising the assessment, raising it. So, of course, it always raises the taxes. In other words, he's a hypocritical crook, is what he is. But we won't go into that. So that's, I know.